These faithfuls are asleep. What's good, everybody? Thank you all so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. We are here today to talk about The Traitors, Season 4, Episode 9. And the name of the episode is called Think Outside the Box. And nobody is. Nobody is thinking outside the box. This episode was very boring to me.
And I'm sorry.
The only reason why I'm here and I'm going to continue reviewing the show is because I like the game. I really like the games, but these players have no personality. They have no personality, okay? So the episode started with Rob giving Eric an ultimatum. Either become the traitor or I have to murder you here tonight. So, of course, Eric is going to accept because he wants to be seen as one of the bros, okay? The only person in the house that I feel like would have chosen to be murdered is Johnny. He's the only person, even Tara. I believe if Rob had approached Tara and asked her to be a traitor, I believe she had a little evil side in her where she would have said, okay, let's go. And you know what I'm saying? Let's be a traitor. But the only person in the house who I believe that just would have said, no, I'd rather be murdered is Johnny. So who are we going to murder? Now, they're debating on Steven, Dorinda, and Natalie. Now, I don't remember the last episode them having a short list. So I'm wondering why they came up with those names.
What the fuck is going on here?
So the next day we're at breakfast. Everyone thinks that either going to be Johnny or Steven that's going to be murdered, or they feel like they're going to banish him. Now, the general consensus is that everyone thinks that it's Johnny because Candace was pushing for him to go into the gallery in the last episode for a chance to win the shield, which is so funny that they are blowing that up when she actually voted for Rob twice.
Learn something from this.
And they're just throwing it to the side. And again, this is where the social experiment comes into play for me. It's because Rob is good at the challenges. No one, not one person in the castle suspects him because he's good at the challenges. There's no way, as KRISTEN said last episode, there's no way this sweet, sweet man could be a traitor.
You are a dumb call. Shut up.
And it mirrors how some of you view celebrities. Because some people are good at certain things, or because they're good looking, y'all would question if they actually raped this person, or if they actually beat this person. And they did. They did, or they could have done it. Anybody is capable of anything.
Message.
Now, when it comes to Steven, they think that it's him because Lisa gave him her gold, which proves what I said before. For certain players, when someone says your name at the round table, it's like the kiss of death. And it's only a matter of time before you vanish because no matter what you say, the people won't believe you. So if someone makes an accusation against you, it ain't no fight. You need to just count down the days until you up out of here. Also regarding Steven, when Johnny told Candace that people in the house said they was going to vote for her and she needs to be ready at the round table, she went and spoke to Steven, so everybody else thinks that that's suspicious. Mark feels like since there has been 3 traitors banished, someone has been recruited, and they all think that it's Tara. They think that Johnny is a traitor and that he recruited Tara. Okay, the traitors the night before ended up murdering. Well, we ended up finding out that the traitors ended up murdering Dorinda, so there will be no housewife that will make it to the fire pit this season like Black Dolores did last season. I think that this was a great murder because she wasn't on anyone's radar. Then let's talk about KRISTEN. We can't talk to everybody. Everybody was talking. Everybody suspects somebody else. But let's talk about KRISTEN because this episode focused on KRISTEN a lot. She had a conversation with Tara, and she flat out told Tara in her face that she thinks that she was a traitor. And I just think that is crazy to me with all the people in the house. KRISTEN, to me, KRISTEN looks like the face of the women's suffrage movement, right? She looked like a woman who will fight and stand up for women's rights. It's crazy to me that she would think that Tara is a traitor, even though all of the traitors so far have been women, right? And it's crazy to me that KRISTEN is not suspicious of any other man. And it shows the biases that she has against women, and it shows how she is male identified. So now it's time for the mission. And so the mission is kind of like Jack in the Box. So everybody had a box. And what happened is that Alan would ask the group a question. Everyone would have to get in the box and come up with an answer. And then the traitors would have to come out of the box, answer the question, and they would have to guess the way that the traitor answered the question. Each correct answer is worth $500, and so they all have a chance to win $18,000. The $18,000 is going to be going to the pot, of course. Now, these faithfuls was asleep, and when I initially watched this episode, I had took my sleeping pill and I was laying in the bed. Okay, now when I saw the episode the first time, because you know that I feel like that there's a conspiracy. I'm a conspiracy theorist at heart. Shout out to Naomi. I'm a conspiracy theorist at heart. I believe there are times where I watch a reality TV show live when it happens, and I can see one thing, and I have a great memory, so I can see and hear one thing. And once it's on the DVR, or once I watch the episode that Bravo puts out or on Peacock, it will be a whole nother edited version. Okay. Now I could have sworn when I first saw this episode, Rob was initially in the box furthest to the left, and Eric was in the middle after they answered the first question. And after they answered the first question, they switched, and the faithfuls didn't even notice it. The faithfuls didn't even notice it. I definitely would have picked that up. But once I saw the episode again, I didn't watch the episode a second time, but I went to go make sure that I saw what I saw, because I was taking down notes when I was at the gym, like thinking about what happened in the episode. And so I went to look again, and it didn't show me that. I know I'm not tripping. Y'all let me know everybody who saw the episode Thursday night, because I saw the episode Thursday night. Let me know if that's what y'all saw in the comments. I could have sworn to you that I saw Rob get out of the box furthest to the left before they answered the first question. And then after they answered the first question, it seems like they switched, and none of the faithfuls caught on to them switching. And I believe, I'm telling you, I don't give a damn what y'all saying. That happened. That's what I saw. And I think that they probably edited it because some people caught on.
I don't give a fuck what y'all saying. I don't give a fuck what y'all saying at all.
I really believe that. Let me know. I haven't watched any reviews or anything else like that. And I haven't really seen anything on social media. So y'all let me know if that's the word on social media, because I'm telling you, that's what I saw. Also, nobody is even listening to see if they can hear a box being open next to them or not. Well, at least they're not showing us, the faithfuls, having conversations about, okay, who was next to you? Did you hear anything opening? And how close was it to you? They're not even having conversations about it.
What kind of bullshit is that?
Now, Alan only asked 4 questions. Who do the traitors think are the most useful to them? Who do the traitors think are most manipulative? Who do the traitors think doesn't deserve a place in the finale? And who do the traitors think will make a best or the best traitor? Now, Rob and Eric chose to answer every question with Tara. Now, the group didn't catch on that the traitors just chose to answer Tara for all the questions until the last question. But Tara and Johnny still picked someone else. And I would have too.
You damn right. You damn right.
Because I'm not going to let you use that against me in the end. But it's kind of like you damned if you do and you damned if you don't. It's kind of like you damned if you do and you damned if you don't. And the group is now suspicious of them because they didn't choose to answer the question. Because I believe that if Tara would have put her own name down, they would have said, oh, so you thought that you would have been a good traitor. It's kind of like you talking to us and playing. You get what I'm saying? And some people in the group wouldn't have been able to look past that. So I definitely would have put my name down. But again, y'all just want to find a reason to be suspicious of them. And to me, can we have real talk? It's kind of like almost like it's lightweight bullying a little bit to me. Especially from the traitors. Not really the people in the house, but the traitors. It's kind of almost like it's bullying. Just a little bit, okay? Now, it was interesting to me because Johnny answered Rob.
Is this your own point with it?
When they asked who they think will make the best traitor, Johnny answered Rob. I believe Tara put Mark, and Johnny answered Rob. But see, he still hasn't brought Rob's name up. He did a little bit with Candace, but he hasn't brought it up to anybody outside of Candace or definitely at a round table. Now, at the end of the mission, Alan asked one more question for the traitors to choose the people to put on the short list. And if you was put on the short list, when you try to open your box this time, if you were up for murder, the box would be locked. Baby, I would have a heart attack. I'm claustrophobic. I already wouldn't have been able to be. See, everybody's telling me, Gabor, you should be good. My mom is trying to tell me, everybody's telling me you should go on the show. You can go on the show. You can go on the show. Listen, I don't think that I will be good. I think that I will be, I feel like I'm good TV. I will give you a show. But I am scared of heights, okay, and I am claustrophobic. And so when I think of traitors, some of the games on traitors and stuff I could do, but this episode here, I wouldn't have been able to get into that box. I probably would have been able to get into the box, but baby, if they would have put me on a short list and I would have been able to open that box, we would have seen, maybe I would have acted the fool. And then last season, I remember, I can't think of his name right now, but he was a guest on, I just finished watching the episode too, but he was a black guy that was on Survivor. And shout out to Tiffany. He was on her podcast, a guest on her podcast for the last episode. But he was in the casket. They had a episode last season where the people was in a casket. I would not be able to do that. Right? And so, like, on the challenge, them people be 200 feet in the air on cranes and shit. Bitch, I'm not getting up there. You know what I'm saying? Just put me in a pit to fight somebody. I'm just going to be fighting tonight. You get what I'm saying? There's no way you can put me up there.
No way. No way.
The players that are on the short list is Tara, Johnny, Natalie, and KRISTEN. KRISTEN thinks that she's up for murder all of a sudden because she told Tara that she thinks that she's a traitor. No, baby. It's because you told other people that you told Tara that you was a traitor.
Oh, what you said right now.
Tara and Johnny feel like they're going to have to fight, and they just want to let the house know that they're best friends.
Cares?
I don't think it hit the way that they thought that it did. It really wasn't a secret. And I know from the viewers watching the show, it looks like that, but it would not have been a shock to me if I was in the house because y'all are both Olympic skaters. Y'all are both Olympic skaters. It would have been more of a shock if Rob and Ron said that they were best friends because we got Ron, who's this comedian, this successful comedian, and then we got Rob, this guy who was over here just on Love Island, right? That would have been a shock to me. But Tara and Johnny
don't care at all.
I don't understand because
that just shows you how stale the season is. Baby, this is not rocket science. You know what I'm saying? It's not the gag that y'all thought it is. Now, going into the round table, Stephen, Johnny, and Tara are the only names in people's mouths that they think they're going to call up, that they're going to be banished. That people think are going to be banished, or people trying to vote for them to banish. And Natalie is nervous, though. Natalie is nervous because she's thinking that it's her. This is Eric. Remember, this is Eric's first round table as a traitor. So he says he's going to be quiet like he normally is.
And bitch, who? Who?
When was that? When was that? When has Eric ever been quiet at a round table? In fact, he's been quite vocal in the round tables. He even led the charge against Candace at the last round table.
You did.
And my thing with Eric is that he's just overthinking. You're overthinking it. Just like Lisa. Just be yourself. Just be your regular self. When you are yourself, nobody's going to think that you're doing anything suspicious. But I must say, this was the most boring round table that I've ever saw, and this is my second season of watching Traitors. It wasn't spirited at all. At all. I want to see a bloodbath.
Yes, baby.
After a round table, it should be guts on the wall when they leave out. There should be feuds and players going against each other for the shields in the next day. It was none of that. It was a whole bunch of please and thank yous and I'm sorry. No, we're not doing all that. Okay. Tara and Johnny revealed that they was best friends.
Oh.
And they knew that each other wasn't traitors. Maura asked, how could you make a statement like that? The same way you can make a statement about Rob.
Like what?
Boom.
Like,
that's the reason why.
That's the way that I can make a statement. Tara and Johnny don't got no fight in them. Tara and Johnny ain't got no fight in them. Like Nancy Kerrigan. Nancy Kerrigan, baby, the people came out there and hit Nancy Kerrigan in the knee. Baby, she didn't take off her skate and throw it at nobody. She didn't do nothing. She didn't have no fight back in her. These skaters ain't got no fight in them.
Stand up. Stand up.
Okay? If somebody came and hit me in my knee, bitch, I would have threw the blade would have been stuck in the back of their head. They would have been dead laying in the ice. You get what I'm saying? These skaters ain't got no fight in them. Mark pretty much tells Johnny to explain himself because Candace wanted him to get a shield. And he was like, well, all I have to say is that I'm a faithful. I don't know anything else that I need to say. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's what I heard. That's what I heard, okay? Johnny and Tara both made arguments against Steven, and Natalie added to it. And when Steven said that he was going to go after Natalie, she started whining, talking about I'd never write a person's name down just because they accuse me. Fuck up! Girl, I can write whatever name I want to write down on my motherfucking board. And I'm writing you. Like, I don't care about you crying. And I said last week that I wanted Natalie to win because I like the way she voted, but she rubbed me the wrong way in this episode. She's too desperate for it. I saw the same girl who was trying to get that potion The same girl who had her hand on the potion with Tara, that's the same girl that I saw this episode. And it, again, it's different for the gamers. This is their livelihood, right? They go and play game to game trying to win money. I don't think that they're rich by any stretch of the imagination. Well, I feel like Tara and Johnny, they probably got a couple of $1 million. I feel like Candace, she ain't got no money. She said her mama's still paying bills for her, but she probably got $1 million or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Dorinda got money. Donna Kelsey, like some of the people on the show, they probably got money. I don't feel like that Natalie is papered up like that. And so it's really about her livelihood. So that's why you have Natalie being as desperate as she is on the show, but it's just not a good look watching this show with other people. That's why you've seen Jam Jam crying that his name was on the short list, because this is their livelihood. And this is another thing with that Natalie. When I tell you that Natalie is nasty, that she rubbed me the wrong way, before the vote, Alan asked if the person with the dagger wanted to use it. And so Natalie said at the table in front of everybody, told Rob to tell the people that he had the dagger, and basically used it because she thought that she was going to be voted out. She thought that she was going to be voted out. So she asked Rob to use the dagger, tell the people that you got the dagger, and I'm the only person left in the dagger group.
I beg your pardon.
But excuse me? This is my fucking dagger. This is my dagger. It will be used for me, not us. This isn't a group thing. Let's be clear. We had a pact. But I don't remember Rob ever saying in the pack when they came into the house, which is I thought was stupid as fuck. Because he didn't say, y'all, this is going to dagger be used against any of us, one of us if we need it. He didn't say that. So I don't know why Natalie thought that the dagger was going to be used for her. Rob said that he had the dagger and it wasn't even a moment. It wasn't even a moment. And that just goes to show you how boring this episode was. Had Tiffany been at that table, had Michael Rappaport been at that round table, have Candace been at that round table, baby, and heard that Rob had that dagger, baby, them votes would have changed. I'm telling you for a fact that if I'm at the table and we are in here 3-4 days later and now I'm finding out that you got the dagger and you ain't said nothing all this time, motherfucker, you just telling us now? Oh, baby, we're voting for you. I'm voting for you. And I feel like people would have followed in unison. So Stephen was voted out. Stephen had 5 votes. Johnny and Tara had received 2 votes each. After the round table, KRISTEN called out Eric for being quiet at the round table. And she told him dead to his face. She said he looked suspicious. And he tried to answer, but KRISTEN wasn't buying it. KRISTEN was not buying it, okay? So Rob ended up coming in while she was talking to KRISTEN because they was in the kitchen. And Rob ended up catching the tail end of it. But after Eric left the kitchen, KRISTEN ended up walking into the bar, where the bar was at. And she ended up telling Mark and Rob if she's gone the next morning, it's Eric, that she thinks that Eric is a traitor. She called him out on it, and she thinks that he's the traitor. And my thing with KRISTEN, girl, you running your mouth too much because you told it to another traitor. Okay? So next we see Rob and Eric in the turret, and they're deciding on who to murder. And so they feel like they can't go with KRISTEN because she's already put people on notice for Eric. And so Eric is thinking about if he wants to murder KRISTEN, will Rob help him? Nigga, why would he help you? Why would you even ask him that question? And he voted out the last 2 traitors. And it doesn't even think that Eric took that into consideration when he became a traitor. It just seemed like he just wanted to be cool with the guys. He just wanted to be one of the boys. And not only did Rob vote him out, he kind of led the charge. Now, if I'm Rob, I'm either getting rid of Natalie for that bullshit that she pulled about that dagger. I'm either going to get her up out of there because, girl, that could have worked against me. Luckily, he got a spell over these dumbass faithfuls, and it didn't work against him. But I'm either voting for Natalie or I'm either getting KRISTEN out. And I'm either getting KRISTEN out to set up Eric, right? That's what I think would be a smart game for Rob. For me, I think that I would probably get KRISTEN out to set Eric up, get Eric out, and then get someone else in the turret to take the fall and just continue to do something like that. Probably being Johnny, and Johnny probably won't accept, but Tara give me, she'll try to accept it. But Tara give me, she probably tell Johnny, I'm a traitor. Sorry, I'm a traitor. And they seem like, they seem real delicate.
Real delicate.
Not delicate.
Delicate, baby. Their friendship will probably break up if one of them ended up being a traitor and didn't tell the other person. But at this point, I'm rooting for Rob. I do think that he's playing a good game. I'm just mad because I wanted Candace or another housewife to win. And I don't know Rob, right? I'm sure next year we'll have some cast members from the recent Love Island cast on there that I can root for. But just I don't know Rob, and so I was really going in for either Michael Rappaport to win or one of the housewives to win. But y'all, that was the episode. That's all I got right now. What do y'all think? But let me know if y'all saw what I saw. Let me know if y'all saw the episode Thursday night. If y'all saw, I saw Rob get into that motherfucking box on the left side of the screen, the very last box to the left. Now, yeah, I saw Rob get into that box, and once they voted after the first, he went to the middle. Let me know, did y'all see that, or was that it was a typo that I saw? Because I feel like that if that's the truth, then I feel like they playing in our motherfucking face, and they already know what's going on. All right? But thank you all so much for clicking on the video, y'all. I really appreciate the love and support, and I will see y'all later. Adios!